I thought she was trying to escape, but there was no point in doing so anyway. Pete went on to show the divorce documents and the screenshots of Hannah and Frank's emails while I explained the real story. Pete also told my parents how Hannah had to give up our family heirloom, my grandmother's diamond ring, in the settlement because she couldn't afford to pay him the money since she's a high school teacher, so she had to sell the ring instead. My parents were already horrified by what we'd told them, and that was just the cherry on top. We watched the drama unfold as my dad demanded an explanation from Hannah for all that had happened, and when she still tried to lie and cover up the truth despite all the evidence against her, my dad promptly kicked her out. He packed her stuff for her and handed over the bags to her, then told us all to get the hell out of their house. I didn't need to be told twice and left with Pete while my sister begged and pleaded with my parents to let her back in just like I had, all those years ago. This was karma at its best, and I couldn't be happier about it. It's been a couple of days since then, and my sister showed up at my place a few hours ago, demanding that I make things right with my parents immediately. I didn't even know how she found me, but I told her that I didn't owe her anything anymore. She'd ruined my life once, so I repaid her the favor and we were now fair and square. I guess she really had no pride left, because as soon as I said that, she started sobbing and accusing me of being a monster. I didn't care much for her drama, though, and shut the door while she continued to sob relentlessly. I just put my headphones on and listened to music while Liza, my fiancée, worked in her study so neither of us would be disturbed. After a while, Hannah finally left us alone, but she'd left a message with a marker on my door to remind me that I was nothing but a revengeful monster. I don't see anything wrong with what I did, very frankly, and don't feel sorry in the least, but Hannah seems pretty convinced that I'm the villain here, somehow. I just did to her what she'd done to me several years ago, except that I told the truth while she did nothing except lie and throw me under the bus. So what do you guys think? Ida for ruining my sister's life and getting her kicked out 7 years after she accused me of causing her divorce? Update 1. So, Hannah has still been bothering me even though a whole week has passed since she got kicked out. I had to threaten her with the fear of cops when she called me for the 14th time today, and only then did she stop. I don't even know how she managed to find my phone number and address, but I'm least interested in that right now. Hannah's trying to make me feel sympathetic towards her because I guess a school teacher's salary isn't enough for her to live on, but I don't think that's true, and she's just upset that she has to look for a place and pay for her own rent, electricity, and groceries now that our parents have kicked her out, so I don't feel too sorry for her. And in case you guys were wondering, yes, I did block her number several times, but I guess she's making her friends add me to conference calls, so there's no point. As for my parents, they're just as bad, if not worse than Hannah. They found me on Facebook and saw the post about my engagement as well. So now, they want to be part of my life once more and even express their desire to attend my wedding. They haven't apologized yet, but for some reason, they expect me to just invite them to my wedding, which is supposed to be a really important day for me. I don't understand where these people find the guts to say crap like this, but at least I'm not responding to any of it. Liza and I have had a field day reading their texts because there's really just no way there for real right now. It's all just really sad for them. Update 2. Hannah showed up at my house yet again after I threatened to report her for harassment yesterday. I was about to leave for work, but she stopped me by throwing herself across the hood of my car and refused to budge until I spoke to her. It was pretty exasperating, and I ended up actually calling the police this time. They took her away while she screamed and cried and tried her best to show me as the bad guy here, but unfortunately, nobody was buying her sad girl act here. It took some time to press charges against her, but as soon as I got it done, I left for work because I didn't want to let this little incident ruin my day. I was sure my parents would bail her out anyway since she was their favorite, and I turned out to be right as well. My parents, after bailing her out, sent me a lengthy text about how I was being way too harsh on them for an honest mistake that they'd made almost a decade ago. It was hilarious because nothing about what my sister and parents had put me through was either honest or even a mistake. They knew what they were doing and were definitely aware of how cruel they were, but that didn't stop them from throwing me out onto the street in spite of knowing that I had no other place to go. So now that I can do the same to them, I don't see a reason to be forgiving and kind. I texted my parents back saying that they'd lost any right to tell me what I could and couldn't do 7 years ago, so they'd better stop deluding themselves. I haven't blocked them yet since I haven't had the time to check my messages, but I will, soon. Hopefully, then I'll be rid of this entire family for good. Update 3. I just got back home from work and checked my socials, only to see that my parents had yet again sent me another long message. Liza and I went through it together, and I swear, this was the funniest thing I've ever read. I guess the poor folks don't even know that I'm not even hurt by anything they say or do now. I'm just laughing at how delusional and pathetic they are. Apparently, they still believe that we're family and told me that they've taken Hannah back in with them and have decided that both their kids deserve a second chance. As if I'd ever been in the wrong at all. So while they'd taken my sister back in, they also expected me and Liza to come to their house sometime soon for dinner, and so we could sort out our differences in a civilized manner before the wedding. Bold of them to assume that I'd even want them at my wedding in the first place. We had a good laugh about their stupid message, and after that, I wrote right back saying that I wasn't interested in the slightest in anything that they'd invited us to and was just fine living away from them like I had for these past 7 years. They'd shown me that I was better off without them, and I was forever going to be thankful for that. I didn't need them at all anymore, and neither did I want their so-called forgiveness, so they could peacefully continue to play happy family with my sister like they had been so far. With that last text, I blocked them once and for all because I didn't even want the laughs anymore. I was done and I was out. I'm sure they'll try to get back in touch with me one way or another soon, but too bad for them. I'm not having it anymore. Liza is the only family I need now, and I'm happy with just her. My parents and my sister have unfortunately never been able to look beyond themselves, and I highly doubt that they ever will, so the next time they get in touch with me, they'll be speaking to my lawyer as well, and that's a promise.